There are men who burn their fortune and vanish forever into the shadows of regret. And then there is John Daly, a man who torched $55 million in casinos, stumbled through for collapsed marriages, battled alcohol and gambling addictions for decades, and somehow came out the other side richer, freer, and more beloved than ever. At 60 years old, living on the open road in a $2 million luxury bus, John Daly is not a cautionary tale. He is the most surprising comeback story in the history of American sports. John Daly was not handed a golden ticket. He was born in 1966 in California and raised in Dardanelle, a small working-class town in Arkansas where golf was considered a sport for the wealthy, not for families like his. His father worked in construction. His mother kept the home. There were no private coaches, no custom-fitted clubs, no country club memberships. Daly taught himself the game by watching Jack Nicklaus on television and grinding out hours of practice on cheap public courses. Because he never received formal instruction, he developed a swing unlike anything the golf world had ever seen. The club traveled way past his head in a massive, almost violent arc, generating jaw-dropping power that defied every textbook. He called his philosophy simple: grip it and rip it, hold the club, and hit it with everything you have. That mindset would define not just his golf game, but his entire life. The moment John Daly became a legend happened in 1991 at the PGA Championship. He was the ninth alternate, barely on the roster, unknown to nearly everyone watching. He had to drive through the night just to make his tee time. He had no practice round. He hired a caddy who was just as anonymous as he was. None of it mattered. That big swinging country boy from Arkansas defeated the best golfers on the planet and walked away as champion. Overnight, he went from complete unknown to the most talked-about name in sports. For years later, he cemented his greatness by winning the Open Championship at St. Andrews in 1995, defeating Constantino Rocca in a memorable playoff at one of the most sacred venues in all of golf. 2 major championships. A swing that crowds came from miles around just to watch. A personality that made him feel like the guy next door who somehow wandered into the winner's circle. John Daly was genuinely one of a kind, but the golf course was never where the real drama played out. Behind the big drives and the bigger smiles was a man fighting battles most people never saw. The gambling addiction was not a rumor or an exaggeration. In his own autobiography, Daly admitted without flinching that he had lost between $55 and $57 million in casinos over the course of his career. Not a typo. $55 million gone. There were slot machines he would sit at for hours, each spin costing $5,000. There is a story still told in hushed, disbelieving tones about the night after a tournament in San Francisco where he cashed a prize check for $750,000. Instead of going home, he drove straight to Las Vegas. Within 5 hours, he had lost $1.65 million playing blackjack, running 7 hands simultaneously at $15,000 per hand. When the cash was gone, he reportedly threw his remaining prize winnings away in a moment of uncontrolled rage. Money poured into the front door of his life and flew out the back before he ever had a chance to hold on to it. The personal life was just as turbulent. For marriages, for divorces, each one messier and more expensive than the last. The 4th marriage ended in a widely publicized altercation at their home, with Daly showing up to a tournament the very next day with visible injuries. Sponsors pulled their contracts. His reputation took serious damage. For a stretch of years, the prevailing assumption in sports media was that John Daly was finished, that he would drift into obscurity, broken, another cautionary tale about wasted talent and wasted money. That assumption was wrong. What the critics and the skeptics failed to understand was that John Daly's greatest asset was never his swing. It was his authenticity. The American public did not love him because he was polished or perfect. They loved him because he was real. He was a guy who drank beer instead of Gatorade, wore pants that looked like they were designed by a colorblind carnival artist, smoked on the course without apology, and talked to fans like they were old friends instead of distractions. He represented something that the manicured corporate world of professional golf had never seen before. He was a working-class hero of a sport built for the wealthy elite. Daly recognized this, and he turned it into a business empire. The foundation of his financial comeback is brand licensing. His partnership with Loudmouth Golf, the clothing line famous for its wildly colorful, pattern-heavy pants and shirts, became a cultural phenomenon. Daly is not just a spokesperson for the brand. He is a part of its soul. Golfers who want to stand out on the course, who want to say something with what they wear, reach for Loudmouth. Every pair of pants sold puts money directly into Daly's pocket. The brand transformed what critics once mocked as a clown costume into a genuine fashion movement. From there, the empire expanded. The John Daly cocktail, a refreshing mix of iced tea and lemonade with a splash of vodka, had been a fan favorite for years before it ever had an official product. Daly partnered to create Good Boy Vodka and a line of ready-to-drink canned beverages that now move off the shelves of supermarkets across America. The image on the can, that big, grinning, unmistakable face with the white beard and the cigarette, is all the marketing the product needs. He also operates the John Daly Steakhouse chain, serving exactly the kind of large, no-apology meals that match his personality perfectly. He signed a representation deal with Crank Golf, a company specializing in drivers built for long hitters. He joined the Cameo platform, where fans pay for personalized video messages from celebrities. Recording birthday greetings and personalized shout-outs reportedly earns him hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year without ever leaving his bus. And about that bus, John Daly's primary residence is not a mansion in Beverly Hills or a penthouse overlooking Miami Beach. It is a custom-built Prevost luxury motor coach valued at somewhere between $1.5 and $2 million. The floor is marble and hardwood. The seats are soft premium leather. The vehicle expands outward when parked, creating a full living room large enough to host a party. There's a king-size bed in the back, a full kitchen stocked with Diet Coke and chocolate milk, a 4K television connected to satellite, so he never misses a football game, and a shower with water pressure strong enough to satisfy a man who has lived hard for 6 decades. He has parked this rolling mansion in the lots of Walmart stores and Hooters restaurant from coast to coast, stepping off to shake hands, sign autographs, and sell his products to the people who love him most. When he is not on the road, Daly returns to Dardanelle, Arkansas, to a property overlooking a calm lake near the Lion's Den Golf Club, a course he owns and operates himself. The house is not flashy by celebrity standards. It is comfortable, cluttered with memories, lined with family photos and old golf clubs and fan gifts that would not survive the journey on the bus. There's a massive outdoor barbecue setup, a pool, and the kind of thick, soft leather furniture built for a man who has earned every scar on his body. The health challenges have been real and serious. In 2020, Daly was diagnosed with bladder cancer. He has undergone multiple surgeries to remove tumors and has continued periodic treatments. Doctors are clear that this is a disease he will carry for the rest of his life. Daly, in typical fashion, responded not with self-pity, but with the same blunt honesty he has always brought to everything. He admitted publicly that decades of heavy smoking, rivers of Diet Coke instead of water, and years of hard drinking contributed to his condition. He has made efforts to cut back. He has not pretended the habits are easy to break after 40 years. He faces a cancer the same way he faces a par 5 with trouble everywhere. He grips the club and takes a shot. Because of significant knee problems in addition to the cancer, Daly now competes on the PGA Tour Champions using a special exemption that allows him to ride an electric cart for all 18 holes. He has turned even this accommodation into a signature expression of himself. His custom golf carts are painted in Razorbacks colors or loudmouth patterns, mounted with speakers blasting country rock at full volume. He rolls through tournament courses smoking, waving to fans, and occasionally hitting a drive that still makes the gallery gasp. He is fully aware that people are not always buying tickets to watch a score. They are buying tickets to watch John Daly be John Daly. The most meaningful chapter he is writing right now involves his son, John Daly II, affectionately called Little John. The younger Daly is a legitimate competitive golfer in his own right, playing for the University of Arkansas, and showing real professional potential. Father and son have competed together in the PNC Championship, where they famously defeated Tiger Woods and his son to claim the title. The image of that victory, of the wild, imperfect, complicated father celebrating with his proud, talented son, is one of the most genuinely moving moments in recent golf history. Daly makes no secret of his intentions. He wants Lil Jon to inherit his talent without inheriting his worst habits. He is actively building a shared brand, appearing together in advertisements and sponsorship campaigns, leaving behind a business and a legacy that can outlast both of them. And then there is Hollywood. John Daly will appear in Happy Gilmore 2, the long-awaited sequel to the beloved Adam Sandler golf comedy. It is, in many ways, the perfect casting. Daly does not need to play a character. He simply needs to show up and be himself, which is precisely what makes him so magnetic. The film introduces him to an entirely new generation of fans who may have never watched a tournament, but will instantly recognize and embrace the wild, lovable, larger-than-life man on screen. John Daly's life does not follow any conventional script. He should have been a fated cautionary tale a long time ago. Instead, he is a functioning business empire on wheels, a devoted father, a cancer survivor, a golf icon, a fashion symbol, a recording artist, and soon a movie star. He lost $55 million and rebuilt something more valuable, a brand so honest, so stubbornly real, that no casino and no critic could ever take it away. When you see him now, white-bearded and big-bellied, riding that electric cart with a cigarette and a grin, you are not watching a man running from his past. You are watching a man who stared down every mistake he ever made, nodded at all of it, and chose to keep swinging anyway. Grip it and rip it, not just in golf. In life,